What are the latest tips and tricks for using Red Hulk and navigating through his Scourge event? What do you need to do to prepare for the Web of Life milestone event coming up? And are you having a world-class experience in Marvel Strike Force right now? We're discussing these things and more in this edition of your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. This week, I am joined by my brother, MobileGamer. Woo! And if you're ready for MobileGamer, tell him what to do, my brother.
Let's go smash it.
Yes.
ValleyFlyin.
Yes, hello, Valley Maniacs. What is up? I am ValleyFlyin. Welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel and this edition of your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Strike Force content. At least 5 videos per week on this channel about Marvel Strike Force. If you have already subscribed, welcome back. This is your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. This is a longer video, so there are timestamps down below. And if you're listening to the podcast version of this, hit that 5-star review. This week, like I said, I am joined by my brother, MobileGamer. How are you, MobileGamer?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I am doing well as well. You sound good. And let me ask you, how much fun are you having in Marvel Strike Force right now?
Well, I'm having an experience. I just don't know if it's world class.
I'm also having an experience. Now,
I'm having an experience.
Now, we're both having an experience in Marvel Strike Force. And in this blog post, they said that you deserve a world-class experience, MobileGamer. So
right.
Is Marvel Strike Force currently a world-class experience in your opinion?
It's interesting that this was put out and then immediately, we get Red Hulk with the bugs and then Kate Bishop, which was in the blog post, supposed to be made available in a hard node yesterday, and so something, so it seems to be in direct contradiction. The bugs, are terrible, right? Especially when you're putting out a legendary horseman, right? It's a kind of a big deal, right? Yeah. And then the Kate thing in some ways is even worse because they controlled that. They said that they were going to do that on Friday. Yet somehow that just doesn't happen on Wednesday. My understanding is supposed to happen today. Probably at the time of release this video, it's probably would already be fixed. But still, maybe. Why does this? Maybe, yeah. But why do we have to bring it up? And say, hey, you guys said this. They're falling short of their own words. They talk about they don't have enough time. They make their own deadlines. You know what I mean? They make their own blog posts, so they set their own expectations, for what is going to be, and so it's interesting when they fall short on things like that.
Now, we've had several bugs introduced in this update. I think, at least for me, the worst is this find button.
It's the worst.
You can't find all the materials, and that was going on right when we had a event going on that you need to spend your campaign energy, and that kind of would have been nice to be able to find exactly what you need to farm. Cosmic Crucible didn't start these war rewards. My question on these war rewards, MobileGamer, they made this switch. They switched up all these rewards. It is supposed to go live sometime this month. Why didn't they switch this at the same time? Why didn't they give us increased rewards at the same time instead of a few seasons later? Then they're gonna make this change.
Yeah. So the war rewards were improved with the exception of the T4s. We used to get T4s. Every war, and now they bundle them at the end of the season, and it looks like some alliances are getting short, and so they said they were going to fix that, and they just have not done that, right?
Yeah, they said that like shortly after that first season with the new rewards started. We're what now in the second, or is this the third season that we're in?
It's been at least a month since they've talked about this. Yeah, it's been at least a month. Yeah.
What about the costumes? This came out right when the offer for the Wolverine costume came out for $15. That doesn't make me want to get that costume, because if I buy that costume, it might break the game and it might be disabled later, like that President Loki costume. Why do you think all these old bugs are coming back? And the other thing that wasn't mentioned in this blog post here about all these bugs that are supposed to be fixed with that new update, the phantom debuffs, that is a big one. And doing some research, that looks like that actually went all the way back to version 5.2 when Silver Surfer, Polaris, and Multiple Man were released. That looks like it was fixed at that time. I noticed it coming back around the Darkhold. Why are the devs reintroducing bugs that have previously been fixed?
Why? I have no clue. I mean, I'm sure that they don't like bugs. I'm sure that they want a bug-free game, but it doesn't feel to me like they have systems in place to push out products. I mean, I feel like that, they set these fake deadlines and they push out the product, whether it's ready or not. And it may not even be an issue of having QA. Maybe the QA has a day to work at. The QA say, hey, none of this works right. And they say, oh, well, and they push it out anyways. I suspect that is the problem is these self-imposed deadlines that are just to keep the new character offers coming, right?
Yeah, they got to keep that pipeline of money coming in. One of the suggestions that chat made that all these bugs are being reintroduced is that different departments are working on older versions of the game, and then when the non-fixed versions, when the new parts of those games are introduced, those bugs are coming back. I'm not a software developer, but does that sound logical to you? I mean, does that sound like a likely scenario for you?
It could be possible. I have no idea. I just know that the finished build, it's very clear to me that nobody looks at the finished build, or they don't care what the finished build looks like before it goes live. It's just pushed out because a lot of these bugs are discovered within 10 to 30 minutes, of them going live, and it makes you wonder, well, what did they test it? And if they did test it, did they have time to fix it? Because it's quite completely possible that it's tested and it does not get checked off, and they just don't care and they push it out, or they just have to go forward. Hard to say.
Yeah, I remember one of the older community managers, Zeeks, did a interview a few months back, and she said when she was the community manager, that was her experience. The community managers would report these bugs, the QA team would report these bugs, but the higher level people would just say, screw it, put it out anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the reason for me saying that is not only from that interview from Zeeks, but also with my conversations directly with her after she quit. It was very clear to me that there just was not enough time. And even when things were discovered in advance, there just wasn't enough time to fix them. And so things just moved out anyways.
Do you think it's because there's too many hoops to jump through? There's too much red tape that they have to jump through to get anything fixed, to get anything changed. And there's a lot of different departments, all these stakeholders that they have to go through to actually change anything in the game.
I mean, I think I've already said it, but I think it has to do with character releases, right? And that's what, If you look at like Social Blade, and I'm sure you've looked at it, that the spikes on Social Blade are directly tied to character releases, and they're not going to let that go. And they have a schedule. They just have to push out so many characters. They have to push them out. They're going to go out, and then everything else is an afterthought. It just feels like that's the primary driving force of the entire game.
Yeah. All right. So they mention here update 6.41 to correct a lot of these issues. Some of the campaign energy, the finder button working, the I don't know what even to call this, the to get more energy and ISO 8 energy and the power cores above that. Some of the issues with raids, some visual issues, supposed to be fixed in 6.1. We're over a week from 6.0. We're 6.4. When do you think we're going to get 6.41 released?
I don't know. This is a hot fix patch, right? So, those can go through relatively quickly. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't expecting it this week. I tell you that. So today is. I was not expecting it this week, and the problem is really the find button, right? The find button is beyond annoying.
That's the big one for me.
It's beyond annoying.
Yeah. Now, in this blog post, they said the team is preparing a general compensation package delivered in the near future. What are you expecting in that? Because in this blog post, they mentioned things all the way back to Gambit, that the Gambit released 6.2. Some people got some shards for that, some mega orb fragments, different things. And just, I don't know what they're even going to do for that find button. That is one of the most annoying bugs in the game right now. So what do you think they're going to do? Sometimes they give some very good compensation, overly generous. Sometimes they're very stingy. What do you think is going to happen with this one?
All right, so I like free stuff, but here's the thing: is I don't think it's really free, and I think that they give us things, and you know what I'm saying, right?
I know what you mean,
and you know where I'm going with this is like they give us all this stuff, and it's going to feel good at the time, but at the same time, like let me give you an example. I'll give you two examples. The Jane Foster Summer of Thunder, right? Remember how that was a big problem? Okay, RTA right now, Jane Foster's in there, right?
I don't know. I don't play RTA.
Okay, well, in the RTA pass, the RTA pass.
Okay, yes.
The RTA pass, she's in there. She has much lower shards than normal. Anything they give us as compensation is probably withheld from future events or future. It's just they control the entire economy. They give us a bunch of stuff for these bugs, that's fine, but who's to say that they're just not giving us that later? And then the second example is, like, when was that? Like 3 years ago where they had that big gold bug and they gave everybody a bunch of gold. Do you really think that
they gave us the ability to buy offers for all that gold. It wasn't just given out.
Well, do you think we really have any more gold now than we did? It doesn't. They withhold anything that they give us for free is withheld later, and they just don't give it out. Like there's some sort of economy person that says, okay, for this month we have an allotment of stuff that we can put in events, but we had to give that out in compensation, so I need to make this event and design the event and the rewards of the event to reflect all that free compensation. So I don't really. I would prefer, compensation's great. I'll take it. That's fine. But at the end of the day, I think that I would rather have a game that works correctly.
So do I. Now, before we move on to the Red Hulk and everything like that, would this, if there were no bugs in this game and there's still the other
there's always
going on,
bugs.
The stingy, game-breaking bugs. If this game was minimal bugs and in its current state with things like the Hulk Hunter event, offers getting more and more expensive, all that stuff, would this still be a fun game in your opinion if it was just the game as the devs intended it?
Yeah, I think it's a fun game. I think what happens, and this is the truth, is that you get in a situation where you're a player and you're not happy with the game being stingy, right?
Yeah.
And the events are not going well, and you feel like you're getting behind, and 4 people drop from your alliance, and you don't know how to find 4 new players, and then you log into the game, and the find button doesn't work. That is the moment that pushes a player over the top.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because all of those other issues now are pushed into the forefront, is that this is an expensive game and all this stuff is wrong. And I need my alliance leaders messaging me because we've got coordinated assault and I need to do this, but I can't do it on my phone because the find button doesn't work. I can't find the campaign energy for a controller because that's who I'm farming right now in green energy. And I have to log into my computer, which is fine. It's just
fine.
like,
you were about to say, that's not fine. We need
fine.
this working. We need this working. Scope.
Yeah, it's annoying. And so it's beyond annoying, and so that I can't use this find button on my phone, and for me it happens to work on my computer, so I have to come and log into my computer, and then I can move on and then go back to my phone, right? Because my phone usually works better.
Yeah, I usually use my iPhone to play everything, but I'm using BlueStacks more. And if you guys want to check out BlueStacks, there's an affiliate link down below. Shameless plug, guys. But let's talk about some fun in the game right now. But as you mentioned, this fun is also broken. So let's talk about the fun part first. Are you having fun with this Red Hulk event right now?
I actually think the Red Hulk Scourge event is one of the shining moments in this game currently. Like, I thought the event was fun. There's a lot of Reddit posts that reflect that as well. A lot of people seem to be that the Scourge events are generally well received. And as far as legendary events go, and the way that legendaries were done in the past, a lot of people are unlocking Hulk, Red Hulk, and that is great, right? I mean, I think from a broader community, this is probably one of the shining parts of the game right now.
I would agree. I think these kind of events are fun. Now, we did mention some bugs. Now, this is not on their normal website. This is actually on the Scopely help desk case. Some of these, they look like they're kind of fixed already. The War Scourge, the last combat node, so node 10. Some players were experiencing errors. So unfortunately, if you are experiencing an error, you would have to reset the whole run. So, you have to go through that whole run again, and then it should be working. Also, it looks like some points are not counting. They're also aware of that issue. And if it goes in the first few attempts, the points aren't added. So what they're recommending is make sure that you go through the first few attempts. Those points count. If it doesn't count on node 1, reset it. And if it is not counting for you, still what I would recommend, just going through difficulty 1, going through that and see if you get points. If you get points, reset it. Just try to do the timeliness. Were you affected by these bugs? Did you see these bugs when they were first launched?
No, the Red Hulk passive triggering more than once. I've seen video footage of that. The node 10, I had maybe like 4 or 5 people report that bug to me, and my understanding is it was fixed. And then that third one that you just brought up, that's the first I've heard of it right now. When you read that, I was not aware of that.
Yeah, so there's some bugs. Looks like 2 of the major bugs with the Scourge event himself can be fixed by resetting the node. The Red Hulk one, we'll get to that. I don't know what they're going to do with that. Maybe that'll be fixed and the hot fix there. Now, how many runs have you done so far on this event?
I did 1 run, and I did my run to get my 1,000,000 points, get all my milestones. I basically did difficulty 8 with the very last Scourge enabled. And it was very, very easy.
Oh, I did difficulty 7 with the last Scourge enabled. Then it was pretty easy as well. Thor was just smashing everybody on 5 and 10. What is your target score that you want to get right now? Let's actually go see the leaderboard to see if this gives you some perspective. Highest score as of us recording this, 3.79 million.
Right. So my understanding that those scores right there are difficulty 8 with every single Scourge enabled, and the differences in the points is the efficiency, how quickly they get through it. So whoever is able to brute force it. And so I believe that the top several, I don't know, 50, 200, whatever, is going to be that difficulty 8 with max Scourges. I don't know if I want to do max Scourges, but it's going to be something. There's a listing of Scourges. There's a couple that make it really hard, where there's one that you can turn off and makes it a lot easier. So there's probably going to have almost every Scourge turned on is my final run, but it'll be in difficulty 8.
Difficulty 8. And what ranking are you trying to get to? Just trying to get that 6 gold star Hulk? Just someplace inside here that you get that 4 red star Hulk? What are you going to be happy with?
I was able to do top 500 in Morgan Le Fay. I did not have any time in the Rogue event because I had to go out of I was out of town, so I just didn't have any time, and so I got a 6-star on Rogue. And so for me, minimum 6-star, and maybe if depending on how much time and how much I can put into it, and go for the full 7-star top 500.
Oh, cool. For me, I'd be happy with the 6-star. That's where I'd be, and then hopefully that 4 red star on the Hulk. Now, one thing that is going on right now, there's some differences between this event and the Rogue and the Morgan Le Fay event, and that's the score for difficulties 8, 9, and 10. So previously, if you equip all the Scourges in difficulty 8 and you go to difficulty 9, just doing difficulty 9 without any Scourges would give you a higher point total. That's not the case here, which is why you mentioned doing all those Scourges on difficulty 8 instead of going to difficulty 9 or 10. Do you think this is a positive thing or a negative change for this Scourge iteration? That
remains to be seen. But here's the thing. It feels like that running difficulty 8 with all the Scourges, which is what they were trying to encourage. They wanted people to interact more with the Scourges. I think they were disappointed in the Rogue event that a lot of people did very few Scourges and just went through difficulty 9, right? That's what they wanted. They wanted the Scourges turned on. And from what I'm hearing is that the top scores are being difficulty 8 with all the Scourges, and people are just finding that difficulty 9 is too challenging. And by the time you turn on some of the Scourges to be competitive with the difficulty 8 with all the Scourges turned on, you're not getting enough points, and it's too difficult. It's too challenging. So for right now, it remains to be seen if difficulty 9 is going to be an option or not.
Okay, fair enough. So I guess we'll wait and see if this is a positive change or a negative change. But I guess it's hard to tell at this point. I don't think many people are going to be doing difficulty 9 and 10 like they did for the Rogue event. That's probably to be sure. Now, as far as the teams that you're using in here, we've got a lot of different options here. I'm obviously Thor and those Hero Asgardians is probably the top choice. I'm also hearing Hulk by himself is doing very, very good. And I've also heard reports the Ravagers are very good. So what are your biggest surprises? Who's performing better than you thought? And what are some of the characters or teams that are performing worse than you thought they would?
All right, the single character that really blindsided me was Thor and his passive. Oh my God. He just was blowing up people over and over and over and over again.
I love that. I love that.
Yes, and I was just like, Thor was the superstar. And it looked like Hero Asgardians, as far as putting the minimum amount of resources into the vent, Heroes Asgardians just seems to be the way to go. A lot of people were taking out Heimdall and putting in Hulk. Because you have to, at the end of the day, Hulk is part of the Gamma team. You have to pretty much upgrade him no matter what. And so people were getting a lot of value out of using Hulk with the rest of the Hero Asgardians without using Heimdall. Last node, there's a lot of blinds. And so a lot of people end up needing to use Heimdall anyways, because there's a couple of characters that put out blinds on that node 10.
Yeah, Jubilee and everything there. Now, one of the big concerns with the Hero Asgardians, they're slow. They're a slow team. But you mentioned that Thor passive.
Yeah,
that
the
slow
Thor
actually
passive
benefits them because it gives Thor more chance to hit them. Jane Foster's also getting charged as well, so she is impacting the team a little bit, but not as much as Thor with that big AoE attack and his
Thor was going off all the time.
Yeah, I love that when it happened.
It was great.
Now, have you used Hulk at all personally, or have you just heard good things about Hulk? Because I've not used him personally in the Scourge.
I did not use him in the Scourge. I was able to run through it with just Hero Asgardians and not have a problem.
Okay, you know what? I think I might just do that difficulty 8 with that last one on, go through it again, because, difficulty 7 was pretty easy. What have you heard about the Ravagers? I've seen some good reports on the Ravagers, but kind of like Hulk, I haven't used them personally. So have you heard about any reports of the Ravagers doing well in this event as well?
What I've heard is that they work well in Node 5.
Node 5, okay. Cool. All right, now the new character here, the big grand prize is this dude right here, Red Hulk. Insane character, doing very, very good on war offense, war defense. But like you mentioned, his passive is broken. So what is going on with the passive? Well, this is what the Scopely help desk says. Our team is aware of the issue and is working on the fix of Red Hulk. Seeing Red is granting 7 ability energy more than once in war. And that it was not supposed to be like that. If we go back in the game.
The footage I saw was in Dark Dimension 2, where it was just, this was just going off over and over and over and over and over and over again. AoE. 7 energy. Oh, I mean, the footage just showed like him doing it over and over and over again. So this part of there's 2 parts to his passive that I think are broken. There's that right there, and then how he gets the charges is up for debate outside of war. Inside of war, it's pretty straightforward. Inside of war, how he gets the charges because the Gamma gets targeted, but outside of war, there's this debate on whether or not if he is the primary target or if he's not the primary target, whether or not, and it seems to matter whether or not he's in a team with Gamma or a team without Gamma. And it's buggy as all get out is what you need to know. And I've provided footage and looked at it in detail, and it's just not working correctly.
All right, so we've had the statement on the Scopely help desk. No statement from the Marvel Strike Force team themselves on a blog post or a Twitter post that I've seen at least. But how strong is this entire Gamma team? Have you used them on War offense? Have you seen results of them on War defense? And do you think they're going to be a viable option for the bio raids, the bio section of Doom?
Okay, I don't know if they're going to be very good in the bio section of Doom. I've not heard that yet. I've had my alliance mates put them on defense, and I've played against them. And there is a team that can beat them. That is not a mirror match, but it's also dependent on Red Hulk being kind of tiny. And I believe that current strategy will no longer work when we have 6 yellow stars, 5 reds, which I believe a lot of people will have, right?
Yeah.
Once the event's over. So there's like a temporary solution. On offense, yeah, they do their thing on offense without a doubt. And that's just going to get better. You hear reports of people punching up pretty big against Dormammu and Darkhold teams.
Who have you faced with this Gamma team personally?
What do you mean? Just an alliance in test mode.
Oh, test mode. Okay, yeah. I faced the Young Avengers, and I think they would have won, but it's a slight punch up. But I timed out because I was making a video and I was talking too much. So they performed pretty well. I have not seen a Darkhold team yet to try them. I have not seen a Dormammu team to try them on yet. But they look pretty good. Now, one of the big controversies of this team is not really a controversy, but one of the big debates on this team is what is the best ISO 8 for each of these characters. And this is the ISO 8 that I have right now. Hulk, I have him as healer. I also see a lot of good reports with Hulk as a striker. What are you going with right now, healer or striker on your Hulk?
I have a healer, but the suggestion that I'm telling people if they haven't already picked healer is to do striker.
Okay. Yeah, I might do both. I got a lot of those green ions. I got a lot of the level 1 blue ions that I could use. So I might do like a dual tag, but I'm going to have to make a decision before I go up to level 4 with Hulk for that Apocalypse unlock. She-Hulk. I have her right now. I think this is striker icon. Yes, I have her as striker. What do you think is the best ISO 8 for She-Hulk right now? Is this striker or is this skirmisher for the extra focus?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's for the extra focus for her stuns and other moves, or is there a different reason?
Well, it's also for the whole team, so that like if you do striker on Hulk, you're probably gonna, and if you do striker on Brawn, then you're gonna probably want to have skirmisher on She-Hulk.
Okay. Abomination. Right now, I have him as Raider.
Yep.
Best ISO 8, no other options for him,
and nobody is doing anything else. Out of the entire team, he seemed to be the easiest one to pick one for. Because here's the thing is that there's more than one correct answer on these, and it's a lot of it's an opinion, right? Yeah. And so, but Abomination across the board is Raider.
Okay. Right now I have Skirmisher on Brawn, aka Amadeus Cho. Mm-hmm. Same, or is there other options that other people are using?
Most people have switched him over. So now I have him as Skirmisher currently right now, but most people are using Striker on him. I think that has to do with how many yellow stars you have on him.
Okay, so the final class, kind of like a Morgan Le Fay, probably best is Striker, but because he's so low, his event is so stingy, probably Skirmisher for that extra focus until that point. All right, and a big debate. There's a big debate right now on Red Hulk, Striker or Raider. I initially used him as Striker. I see a lot of people recommending Raider. Right now, he's currently as a Raider. Where do you think his final form will end up? As a Striker, Raider, or something else once he gets all of his red and gold stars?
Okay, so it depends on how the battlefield effects and the bleeds play out. Right now, it just from his kit point of view, him going early, and if you want to also someday use him on with other of the legendary horsemen, they all can't be Striker, right? And so Raider seems to make the most sense from his kit. Now, if the battlefield effects, in the bleed mechanic, how it puts out the 3 bleeds and all that, that is directly impacted by Striker, and there may be an opportunity from the battlefield effect gamma radiation right there for Strikers. For right now, I have him as Raider.
Okay.
Because he's fast and he goes first. He goes early.
All right, I'm gonna have to do more practice mode with this team because there's a lot about this team that I need to experiment with. So yeah, they look fun. They look strong. Strong enough or too strong in your opinion?
Oh, we have to wait until we get six yellow.
Get the real Red Hulk. Okay.
Yeah. We'll have to see.
All right. You mentioned this earlier, but Kate Bishop on the blog post, August of 2021st, which was yesterday, she was supposed to be farmable on node Mystic 3.9, but not there. Now, you're expecting this to be corrected later today. It took them till the following Monday to correct this. When do you think we're going to have Echo on Heroes 3.9?
Kate on 3.9.
Kate.
Yeah, I mean, I would not be surprised if that happened today or even before this video is put up.
Cross my fingers. I'm crossing my fingers. Hopefully, while I'm editing this will be fixed and Kate will actually be there. The other thing, the victory blueprint. We've got some points in the game. Now, this was not described in the blog post, so this is not like going back on the word, but if we go to the description, this is different than what we've had before. Spending campaign energy. I believe it was 5 points.
It was 5.
It was five. Okay.
Yeah.
This got switched. Is this one of those scenarios that they gave us too much stuff? Now they're like, yeah, you guys got too much free stuff because of all our bugs. Let's constrain this a little. Is that what happened here?
They also extended the milestones. If you look at the milestones, they're pushed further back also. So now, not only now is it harder to get points, but if you go to the last milestone, I think it's to 230,000. It used to be 210,000, 225,000, and it used to be like 210, I believe. And so they're not only making it harder to get points, they're pushing back the milestones. So they're pushing back the goalposts. It's horrible. Like it's just all around unfun. And there's no communication. There's no communication to us. We find out about it when it goes in game, but there's also no communication to like other people in like if you look in some of the offers, the math on the offers is wrong. You know what I mean? Because
it's because they're copying and pasting the offers from the older events.
Yeah, the offer still the math is done on the offer is still done on the 5 points versus the 3 points. So offers that are just outright wrong, and they say that it gives you more points towards the event than it does. There's a $3 offer that's completely wrong. So they're not communicating it to us. They're not communicating it to other departments that are in charge of sales and offers as well.
It seems like a lot of this is like different departments are doing their own thing. There's no central person in charge of all the departments that's like coordinating everything. I mean, I don't know if that's what it's like, but as a player seeing the end result, that's what it seems like to me because there's no synchronization. Now, in fairness to them, though, with this victory blueprint, before we've had points through the monthly event, this time is not. Do you think that has anything to do with the change here? Because we've had other events that we've had these T2 level 4 ions. So do you think this is just kind of a bonus, or this is something that we should actually be upset about?
I don't know. Like the one thing I don't know the answer to that question. I mean, I try to look at all of these milestones as bonus events, bonus rewards, and just to take whatever I can get. Because like I think where the trap on these events is to look at them as like I need to complete them or I should be able to finish them, and then it's basically these are just offers, right? Especially and if you view these as I've got to finish them, then you're going to have to spend money to finish them. The way I look at it is I'm gonna play the game as well as I possibly can. I'm gonna min-max the events. We weren't given enough time to save our mailbox. I was only able to save the mailbox for 2, and normally you can save it for 3. And because they sprung this on us on Friday, and then it went live on Wednesday, right? So we only had enough time to save for 2 instead of normal 3 because this was like a last minute announcement. So only the people that were smart enough to like save and hoard everything were able to get to 3. And then whatever I get, I get. It is literally bonus I'm going to play the game as best as possible, min-max as many things as possible. But if I don't finish it, I don't finish it, and I don't care.
Now, in previous events, I was spending cores to get all that raid attacks so I could do those 4 extra attacks. Is that something you're going to do on this one because there's no tie to that monthly event? Or are you going to say, I'm just going to play my war how it is and just, I
guess I have to say that I already play it that way.
Okay, got it.
So I already play it that way. So it's just the alliance I'm in. We do the 4 attacks, or the first thing you do when you go into war is load up 8 attacks and do 8 attacks within the first hour of the war starting. And that happens every war without fail. So
you're a very hardcore war player. I don't play that hard. All right. Now,
and if you don't do that, then maybe this is a situation where it's worth it if you care about the rewards.
Yeah. I did do that when it was tied to that monthly event. Now that it's not, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'll probably decide during this war. And this is the thing that you mentioned here earlier. This is a new development in the help desk. One of our recently released Victory Blueprint offers had an incorrect description. It mentioned that players will receive a total of 2,475 Victory Blueprint milestone points. The slight error in the description and the said offer is only intended to grant 1,675 points. So big discrepancy in what it was awarding previously and what it is currently awarding. The description should reflect the intended amount on the next reset. Thank you for your patience. We apologize for the inconvenience. So just copy and pasting is where this came from. In your opinion?
Correct. Because they changed the points. If the points were still 5, and now that they're 3, the points, because there was like 400 campaign energy in that offer, and sort of instead of giving you 2,000 points, now it only gives you 1,200 points.
Yeah. All right. We have another milestone. In addition to the Victory Blueprint, we have a golden opportunity to get showered with all these awesome new milestone rewards for spending gold.
Yes.
Is this now the big thing here for me at least was that the power cores are the same. This is replacing that high roller milestone. And if you're spending a certain amount, you're getting better rewards. If you're spending a little less, the rewards are a little different. In your opinion, is this a better or worse than the high roller milestone that we previously had? Much better. How much are you spending during this golden opportunity?
I end up usually spending about right there. You're at 2.7. Somewhere between 2.3 and 2.7 every single day.
Okay. Now the other thing that we're getting here is some ranking rewards.
Yep.
Is this enough to push you to spend even more gold, or is this just Scopely trying to suck our resources?
No, but I'm very grateful for the ranking reward being there. I'm going to take all those rewards every day. That's great. I mean, why not? I mean, it's going to be a huge benefit, but to obsess about the events and do more than what I normally do, no, that's just not going to happen.
I think that's a good strategy. Just play the game, play for fun. And I think a lot of the frustration comes from chasing these milestones. Now, for the monthly ones, I will chase a little. For these, I don't think I'm going to spend. And you said you're normally spending about 2.3 to 2.7. What do you suggest for the majority of players? I know the previous,
I have no idea.
Just some of these gold increases was about 1 million a day. Is that what you're spending previous to these new milestones? Is that what you're spending in the high roller milestone?
No,
or is that just for,
I know it matters what level you're at too, but I have no idea.
Okay. So yeah, I think milestone 10, milestone 11 is a pretty decent place for some pretty decent rewards. And then, certain days, certain characters are out. I'll spend a little more gold just because I'm trying to make a video and get these characters up to a certain level. But yeah, the good thing about this, the power cores are the same and we get some extra ranking rewards there.
I'm going to curious to see is, there are certain people that are sitting on, tens of millions of gold and hundreds of gold orbs. I wonder if this is going to, allow people to finally release some of that.
Maybe. I hope so. I want to spend my gold, but a lot of it is not just gold. It's my training mats. I'd like to spend more gold because I do have a lot of gold, but the training mats, I can't spend it on the things I want. Once in a while I'll see stuff in the supply store. All right. Cosmic Crucible was one of the bugs that we had. The season did not start. I actually didn't set my new teams with all these new room bonuses and everything like that. Did you end up setting your teams, or did you see that it wasn't starting and you just said, I'll wait till next time like I did?
No, I'd set all my teams. So yeah, I'd gone through and looked at all the things and set my teams.
Okay, and what are you suggesting as far as the best new teams for defense on this?
All right. Well, the first 2 rooms are kind of open. The third room is open up to Spider-Verse, but the bonuses, it looks like the room 3 is mostly designed for Tangled Web, which is not fully out. So when that team is out, that'll probably go there. But for now, I don't even think you need to worry about Spider-Verse in room 3. Room 4, latent power of the turn, Global Heroes game, offense up. I believe I put Gamma there.
Gamma team.
Yeah, and then in room 5, I believe I put Young Avengers.
Okay.
And then in room 6, I believe I put what did I put there? I put Darkhold with Bishop.
Oh, okay. So 1 legendary character. Now, one of the things people were discussing is, should we split up some teams, make some hybrid teams for the stage 6 with these legendary characters gaining this extra damage there?
Well, they don't. That's also the other thing too. You see right there in the blog post, it says legendary characters gain 50% damage. That's not true. If you go in game, it's not there. They don't. No, they don't.
Do you think that's a bug or that was intended? Because
I think it's intended because I think that because the global buffs, which also affects hero mutants, they get 50% damage. So then there would be 3 legendary hero mutants that would not only be getting 50% damage, but they would also be getting in stage 6 an extra 50%. So that would have been like Rogue, Jubilee, and Phoenix. Yeah, and that would have been kind of scary, to be honest with you.
Ooh, all right, so I guess that's a good thing that they're not getting all that extra damage, but they're getting more defense up. They remove all negative effects from themselves. And are there what hero mutants are you saving for offense? Because they got a big buff, and I think the big buff, all this damage and stuff is really, really good. Hero mutants clearing revive once. That is a big buff countering Dormammu. Is it even worth putting Dormammu on defense because it can be countered so easily by these hero mutants, or are you saving him for offense now?
Save him for offense, and then you also can put hero mutants on random teams, like one-off standalone hero mutants on teams, just to prevent Dormammu from coming in and getting full effect, right? You know what I mean? You can like that's Cable. The whole idea.
Cable.
No, Cable, yeah, or I just said his name, Bishop, putting Bishop, using him on defense, and and then putting Jubilee on another team because she left over. So there's four hero mutant teams, right? Unlimited, Astonishing, Uncanny, and X Factor, right? And so I think I ended up putting
X-Force as well.
X-Force, I guess, yeah, but that's
they're not very good, but they're still a team.
Okay, fine.
Maybe X-23, you could pull off that team.
Yeah, X-23. I think I've saw some people putting X-23 on defense, just like plugging her into a slot to give to kind of mess with Dormammu.
Okay, so I gotta switch around all my rooms here. Hopefully the season actually goes down like it's supposed to, because when I see that, then I'll start to do some of these new bonuses there. Now, the big thing that's supposed to be coming up tomorrow is this Web of Life event, and I think it is because it shows in game that it is coming up tomorrow. But we never know with these blog posts because there's so much misinformation nowadays. What are you going to prepare right now? It's all subject to change. Dates, characters, buffs, kits, rewards, everything is subject to change in this blog post.
Right. Well, I'm not going to do anything special for this event. I'm just going to do the 50 power cores like I always do. And that seems to get me what I need to get. The orbs look pretty good. There's actually not only Wong is in there, Wong and Dr. Voodoo. So the orbs themselves look fairly decent.
Yeah, so let's look at some of the characters here. The Wong was the one that I was very happy about, but Dr. Voodoo you mentioned.
No, there's
Scarlet Spider.
Yeah, there's a lot of good characters in here. Firstly, what we're looking for is rare characters or characters that have been released. So Dr. Voodoo recently,
Scarlet,
and then
I don't have Scarlet. I don't have Scarlet.
Scarlet Spider's another one that is recently made farmable, and then Wong is not available anywhere. So those are the big winners right there. Sometimes and then there's a lot of other good characters in here. My goodness, you got Cloak, and we got Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi's really good.
So there's good characters in there, and then there's also some scarce characters in there. So this is I was expecting nothing out of this orb. And
like the last event, we got nothing.
Wong's a big bonus right there. My goodness.
Yeah, having a big Wong is very, very important for your
Wongers.
Wongers. It's not what you expect, or it's not where you thought.
It's not where you think. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not where you think. He's in an orb, actually. He's fountainable, guys.
Yeah.
All right, so for this event, we're gonna need to open Vigilant orbs. You can open one Vigilant orb for 2,000 points. You can also spend power cores. So if you want to max all of these milestones, let's say you're spending no power cores, to max all of them, you're gonna need 120 of these orbs. Or you can spend some power cores to reduce that. If you want to just get to these indestructible pants for all of the points towards your monthly milestone, that is 68 orbs alone. Obviously, you're probably going to spend some power cores, a little less than that. Does that seem high or low to you? That doesn't seem very high, but I haven't done all the full calculations.
I have not looked at the math on these at all.
Honestly, it's not worth looking at the math because it's all subject to change. It could go live in the game and be totally different than what's described here. So I don't look at the math anymore. I used to, but yeah, just because of the inaccuracy, I haven't been looking at this. Now, there's also a Blitz milestone, which may or may not have the correct numbers. Winning points with Blitz using the Vigilant characters, which also are a quick rumble blitz. So that is a very good thing that we don't. And
those are also the characters that are in the orb. So we just look at those characters, right? So this is the first time where it all lines up like pretty easily. It's pretty simple, right?
I like this. I thought this seems very well planned out. The planning for a lot of stuff is weird. This event, I think, was planned out very well. Having the Vigilant characters in a couple things, having them in the orbs, and then spending milestone. Now, predictions for you. Something always changes from these blog posts. What is going to be different? Is it going to be some of these Vigilant characters, the points? Is it going to be some of the rewards? What is going to be different when it actually goes in the game, MobileGamer?
The thing that's been thrown off lately is points, and we didn't talk about the 4-4 and the 5-4 thing, but yeah, the points is usually where they switch things around and how the points are calculated, but I have no idea.
All right. Let me know your predictions, guys. What is going to be different from the blog post when it actually goes live in the game? Because something will be different.
Right. And so it's whether or not you're going to have to blitz a lot is going to come down to whether or not you have some of these Vigilant characters already above gear tier 15. And I do. So it probably won't be a high blitz event.
All right, so the Blitz event, usually with a lot of these, 4 rotations should get you there, sometimes less. A lot of good characters here, though. Are there some characters that you're thinking of building up for this Blitz event?
Whoa! So the Vigilant is different than the orbs. Is Wong in here?
Wong is in here, yeah. So it's everybody that's in here minus some of the legendaries like Shuri, Nick Fury, Morgan Le Fay. Obviously, they're not going to put the new hero Asgardians in there as well, or Hulkbuster, or Vision.
So it's a little broader than the orb, but a lot of the same characters in the orb, which is good. I mean, here's the thing: you have a bunch of 16s already right there, and you have a lot of them over 15, so you're probably not going to have to blitz a lot.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Now, this for older time players, you just put in your 5 highest characters, put that thing on auto. But for newer players, I remember when I was a newer player, choosing the best characters was a little bit of a struggle. What would you suggest for newer players or maybe mid-game players that don't have that full roster, don't have all these characters built up for the actual event that supposedly is starting tomorrow?
Are you talking about the event campaign, just the actual
event
gameplay?
Campaign, yeah. So if someone's struggling through this with a smaller roster, the characters maybe aren't as built up.
Don't you feel that everybody has Morgan Le Fay, whether they're new or like everybody has Morgan Le Fay, right?
I guess if they weren't around during the events, or if they came around, and they weren't strong enough to complete this event, then maybe they don't ever unlocked. But
I mean, I think
it's a strong choice.
I think what you said about just putting your strongest characters, but I think you could throw Morgan Le Fay even if she's not your strongest character, and she's going to be a superstar for you.
What about any of the other newer characters like Hulkbuster, Vision? Maybe some people have them unlocked already. Even at lower levels, do you think they're going to be strong enough for this event to make it through?
I'm sure. I don't find these event campaign to be that overly challenging, to be honest with you. Like, I don't put a lot of thinking into it.
Probably after you've been playing for a year, that you could just auto all these events. But before a year, you might struggle a little. Now, that said, let's move on to what this is all for. The main thing right here, the monthly event. And there was a lot of controversy with this. No dark promo credits, and then having these orbs, these Gamma Goliath orbs.
Yuck.
Now that we're almost through this, you answered my question already with that yuck. Has this worked out how you thought? Has it worked out better than you thought, or worse than you thought it would be? Because my expectations were pretty low with this right now.
We'll find out at the end of the week, right? You know, once whether or not we hit the scoring button.
At least so far. What is?
Well, it's going to come down to what the indestructible pants, right?
Yeah. That's when it's going to be. It's going to put at 345, and I think I've claimed everything so far. My alliance hasn't finished the coordinated assault, so that may be where some people have a little more.
You add 100,000 points to this, and and that puts you right above your milestone 39. Are you think you're going to hit milestone 40? Is the question, right?
Yeah, I guess logging in every single day to the web store or the milestone store to see if there's a
blitz reward. Yeah,
there always is, right? So different than the one core events. Did you prefer the one core offers, or knowing that there's a guaranteed thing that you have to log in for on the milestone store every single day?
Well, I've missed 2 days. So I know I've missed 2 days. So there's 2,000 points each day. So I'm missing 4,000 points. And we're going to see if those 4,000 points are going to make a difference costing some sort of threshold, whether that's milestone 39 or milestone 40. We'll see.
Yeah, hopefully they've given some kind of leeway, for players that can't log in every day just because, life gets in the way sometimes.
Not them. There'll be offers to make up for those 4,000 I missed, I promise you.
That's how they'll get.
Oh, there'll be offers.
Wait, MobileGamer, can't I just spend $5 and complete all of them? Do I have to really buy an offer?
Boy, they've ignored that, haven't they?
Yeah, they have.
They have no interest in addressing that. I believe they just hope that people stop talking about it. I think is their plan.
Which is why we're going to keep talking about it.
Yeah.
All right. So that is it for this event. Hopefully it ends up being good. A little hard to tell at this point. And I guess that is it for Marvel Strike Force at this point. I do want to move on to She-Hulk on Disney Plus. Now we're going to talk about episode 5, not episode 6, which was released today. So if you have not seen episode 5 or everything up till episode 5, spoiler warning right now. We're going to talk about that in 3, 2, 1. What was your thoughts on episode 5 of She-Hulk, MobileGamer? And actually, before we answer that question, are you enjoying this series compared to some of the other Disney Plus series?
Here's the thing. I don't mind this. I think I hate, how do I say this? I like it more than most people. I don't think that this has broad appeal. Like, I don't feel like everybody universally loves this. Like the Loki show or Mandalorian.
It's a little different. Yeah.
And the reason for that, I also don't think I'm the target market for this show necessarily. So to me, I don't take it that seriously, and I've been enjoying it overall. I find it, I have like little to no expectations on it.
All right. Better or worse in your opinion than Miss Marvel?
I didn't watch Miss Marvel.
Oh, okay. So better.
Yeah, I didn't watch Miss Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it was definitely better than Miss Marvel. I'm enjoying it overall. It's like a lighter show. It's more of it's a funny show. I don't know how much it will relate to the MCU down the road, but I'm still enjoying this. Now, your thoughts on episode 5, the court trial with Titania, She-Hulk by Titania.
Yeah, the court trials, it's just meant to be comedy. And I think I go, well, that would never actually happen in a courtroom. Or I keep thinking that's not the way things actually work. Or that, you start thinking.
We don't have superheroes in our real world.
Yeah,
so maybe things would be shifted if we do.
And so I just kind of just like, okay, this is just silly. And it is what it is. And I think I've been enjoying the show overall.
Yeah, I just think it's a fun show. It's a fun show. It's not like a serious show. I don't have to put too much thought in. It's more of a comedy. It's not as serious as Loki or having some social issues like Falcon and the Winter Soldier or something, more serious. It's just, have fun with it. And I enjoy it for what it's worth. So that's my thoughts on it. All right. But that is it. That is it for Marvel Strike Force. That is it for the MCU. Any final thoughts, my brother, before we go over your channel, continue this conversation?
I think we covered everything.
I think we have as well. All right. Well, anything coming up that you want to promote, my friend, before we get out of here?
I don't think I have anything to promote. I'm just glad to be here.
All right. Well, make sure you guys check out his channel if you haven't already. He has the largest Marvel Strike Force channel. So go over to YouTube, check him out. Go over to Twitch, check him out if you haven't already. All the links will be down below. And if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, hit that subscribe button for more Marvel Strike Force content. Smash it. Like I said, at least 5 Marvel Strike Force videos per week on this channel. Whether the game is in a good place or a bad place, we are covering it all in an honest way. And that is it, guys. I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Give this a nice review if you're listening to the podcast version. And are you ready for a Hulk fist bump mobile gamer?
My favorite part.
I love this as well. All right, you ready for it?
Let's go.
Let's go. Hulk fist bump, ValleyFlyin mobile gamer out. Have a great day, guys.